We've seen some absolutely critical signs for Bitcoin right now that I think could be resulting in quite a large, substantial breakout to the upside. I mentioned $58,000 in the last video. I'm going to show you exactly why I think we could be going there right now. And the best part about all of this is that we've confirmed it. Like, it's actually confirmed. It's underway right now. Does that mean it's going to actually happen? Absolutely not. We can confirm things and then still shit the bed and drop down. This is Bitcoin at the end of the day. But this is still a really, really good breakthrough that we've had, which I'm super, super happy about. And it's all to do with this symmetrical triangle that I was talking to you guys about for quite some time. Now, Ethereum actually led the market and broke out of its kind of descending resistance quite a bit earlier than Bitcoin, which is one of the reasons I was able to see this coming. You guys who are watching this channel over these past few videos will remember that I was actually super bullish on Ethereum. I'm in a really, really profitable long position on Ethereum right now. It's like 80% profit, absolutely crazy stuff. It's all gone down inside of Forthlight's VIP. So follow these steps on screen if you want to jump inside and continue to watch me trading in these markets as I'm pulling these gains or navigating the losses, because of course it happens. I'm a normal trader. But Ethereum ended up breaking out right here on the 18th of March. Bitcoin got its equivalent breakout actually only yesterday, only on the 24th of March. And so, it's pretty recent right here, but seeing that Ethereum has led the market is a very, very good sign, showing us that we are actually choosing the upside. And the reason that this is very, very exciting to me is that actually, depending on how you draw this, we've got roughly a kind of 34% to 38% break to the upside. And if we kind of take a look at where that kind of percentage gain can put us, I mean, something around a 34-35% pump from our current breakout point would put us at about $58,000. And the way I was able to get this number is quite simply, when you've got this kind of pattern, the way you can actually extrapolate a target is just measure the height of the pattern from the first time where both lines have been hit. So the top line was hit over here, the bottom line was hit over here. So this fulfills the condition of both lines being hit. I measure it up, it's roughly 33%. Again, this is going to vary depending on how you draw it. And then I take this from our breakout point and I just measure what is 33% up from there. It's about $57,000. So just kind of roughly around there. And it's a very good way to get targets, in my opinion. It's the exact same thing to the downside, and you can use either the dollar amount or the percentage. Both I think are valid. So in this case, this was a $12,000 move up. So again, if we kind of measure what $12,000 up looks like, that's going to put us at about 55,000. So roughly the same price areas. And if we got a breakdown, I'm just showing you like this is how these kind of tools work. You can't see the price, but I can read it. It's $25,000. That would give us a potentially kind of speculative target for Bitcoin if it ended up dropping to the downside. But anyway, we don't need to talk about that right now. This is actually a really, really good spot for Bitcoin where it is at the moment. The only real issue that I think Bitcoin is going to be facing right now is just this kind of overarching resistance that's existed kind of in the 45K region. Again, beautiful symmetrical triangle as well over here that I was breaking down for you guys in the previous video. Also giving you guys a target, just kind of, drawing a line like this, very, very similar target. Kind of a piece of analysis we can use, a tool that we can use to give ourselves a potential target. So everything's pointing towards a big, big lift off to the upside. I just want to take a quick peek at the Fear and Greed Index because it wasn't actually rising very well. But yeah, it has now moved right back into neutral territory. That was actually quite a big jump over these past few days because for the bulk of this rally up until only 3 days ago, the market wasn't actually gaining much bullish sentiment, but obviously that has changed a little bit now. Am I worried? No. The reason I'm not worried about this is we've already had these kind of cycles of swing up to neutral fear and greed, swing up to neutral fear and greed, and now we've only done it at the very end. The difference is, if you take a look at how quickly the crypto market was able to reach kind of neutral levels on this index, we reached neutral levels right here on the 7th of February. That was pretty premature on this rally. That was right here, so this is about a whole 2-3 days later that we finally started to reach these levels of neutrality in the Fear and Greed Index, which basically shows me that we're gaining bullish sentiment slowly. It's a little bit slower. People aren't believing it as much right now, which is a good sign. When you have every Tom, Dick, and Harry agreeing with the same thing, you're not in the right place, right? I mean, obviously you're going to feel a great sense of camaraderie. It's going to be nice. You're going to feel a sense of community because you're all jacking each other off to the same price predictions. But at the end of the day, you're not actually making any progress to being a profitable trader if you're agreeing with absolutely everybody else. And you guys already know that's why this YouTube channel exists. Like, I'm a real trader that makes real trades, and by virtue of that, in order to be successful, I must separate myself from the crowd. I must have my own analysis and not be swayed by the rest of the market. And that's what I'm putting forward with you guys right here on this YouTube channel. So if you do appreciate it, do me a favor and smash up the likes right here on this YouTube video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. But let's continue on, because this is getting even better. The 45k area is certainly an important area of resistance, in my opinion, for Bitcoin right here. And we've been testing it for a while. You know, we've been trying to break this relative green box now for 71 days. You know, resistance can't be resistance forever, in my opinion, especially not for Bitcoin. And 71 days is a bloody long time. But not only has it been 71 days, we've also had now 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 if you want to count this, but I won't. You know, we've had 4 separate hits of this resistance area over those last 71 days, and now we're on attempt number 5. Again, resistance is resistance, but not forever, right? If we keep on hitting it, you know, that's telling us that actually the market is trying to do something here, and it's worth paying attention to it. So I think that's really, really important. Now, again, we're not out of the woods, right? Like, one of the key things that I think is still going to be a problem for Bitcoin is this massive Ichimoku cloud. We've been rejected by it a few times already, but we're now pushing quite deep into the cloud. The whole cloud is resistance, right? I want you guys to keep that in mind, right? It's not like a little bit of the cloud, like at the bottom or at the top is no, this whole range is resistance for Bitcoin, according to the Ichimoku cloud. And that's quite important, because this is a very reliable indicator in my experience, right? So this is kind of one of the things that's dampening things a little bit. I honestly think that if we didn't have this cloud right now, and the resistance which is associated with it, because we're not finding resistance because there's a cloud, there is a cloud because there's resistance, right? That's an important distinction. Again, a lot of people don't even bother to learn these things when they become a trader, because they just want to know what to click, what to buy and sell and so on. But obviously that's not how real trading looks. That's why you're here on the 𝗧𝗡𝗧 channel now, because you've gone through those bullshit channels, you've tried those bullshit ways of trying to make money, and of course it doesn't work. You got to put a little bit more effort into it, but that's totally fine. That's why we're here. And yeah, I do think that you know, if that resistance weren't here, as is demonstrated by the Ichimoku cloud, then we probably would have already broken out by now. I would certainly expect. In any case, this is our final resistance that I'm seeing before things can get very, very exciting. Like I said, there is quite a bit of resistance, but if we do manage to break it, I would be looking at a clean breakout, nice blue sky breakout right here, even though we've got that Ichimoku cloud. And the primary reason that I'm so keen on something like this happening is because this resistance area has been holding Bitcoin back for a while. You know, when you have a resistance area that's held the price back for a long time, and you suddenly break it, it's like you've got a lot of water in a reservoir, and then a dam, and then a lot of water on the other side, right? And this is almost like the dam in the middle is getting broken. You know, there's cracks forming, and then it just collapses, and all the water floods out. That's how this looks to me, in my opinion. And one of the most famous occasions where this has happened in Bitcoin's price history was, of course, when Bitcoin managed to break above $20,000 back at the end of 2020. As we all know very well, $20,000 was the previous peak for Bitcoin that was set at the end of 2017. And this was a resistance area not for 71 days, but instead for 1,100 days. And yeah, it was, I mean, this is like, I gotta tone down the adult language, to be fair. I'm not gonna be too crazy. I'm getting all sorts of analogies right now, but this is, yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of build up and bam, you release. And that's kind of, you can work out what I was getting at there. But that's kind of where, you know, Bitcoin was when it managed to break above $20,000, and the explosion was enormous. I mean, this was 1,100 days of pent up frustration in the market released. Within 23 days, we doubled in price. And by the way, where did we rise up to? $42,000, which is exactly the same range that we're finding resistance in right now. So it's beautiful how this math ends up working out. And so, you know, I wanted to demonstrate that to you, to show you that, you know, like when we have a resistance area that holds the market for a long time, if it breaks, we're looking at something quite explosive potentially happening. I'm not saying the price is going to double, but like I said, definitely low 50, high 50K ranges, super achievable in my opinion, just because of how long we've been consolidating here. You know, one of the other things that I want to bring up with you guys is that at our previous market bottoms in this cycle that we've had so far, Bitcoin has formed some quite clear patterns, to end them, right? So take a look at this. We've got, with Bitcoin right here, a very nice falling wedge pattern. There are a few breakouts to the upside and the downside, but for the most part, it's pretty clear what the direction of the market was, which was, it was overall trending down slowly, which is actually generally a bullish pattern, because what it's showing us is that the market is dropping very quickly, and then it's still dropping but with less momentum. And if you're losing momentum, that can mean, if you keep on losing momentum, it can mean that actually things reverse, right? So the opposite of having a lot of momentum in one direction is having a lot of momentum in the other direction, and that's kind of what happens when you form these kind of patterns. And the last time before that, when we formed the bottom, we had a bit of a descending triangle, which is somewhat more difficult to demonstrate, but something a little bit like this. It actually looks better on the smaller time frames, but it doesn't really matter. You get my point, where at crucial market bottoms, we are generally forming some sort of quite easily recognizable pattern, indicating that we could be looking at a bottom in the market. And again, we take a look at this ascending triangle that we're looking at right now, where we've been rising to higher lows in this market and keeping the very same high at about $44,000. That to me is quite an important sign of Bitcoin potentially forming a bottom pattern right here. It's not my preferred pattern. I would like to see something a little bit more like a double bottom instead, like maybe a triple bottom. We got elements of that right here, right? We formed a bottom right here, another, and then another. You could certainly call this a triple bottom in my opinion. That's a really nice reversal sign, right? That is a really, really bullish sign right there in the market. We didn't quite get the same thing. We did kind of form a double bottom right here, but the second low wasn't as low as the first one. Look, I don't want to dive too deep into those technicals, because at the end of the day it doesn't matter, but the reason that it is important is because if the market has a chance to drop down here and then it has another chance to drop down here, the bears are really going to be expecting Bitcoin to dip far, far lower. But if instead the bulls step in, that's showing us that actually we're defending that same common ground. Obviously the better version of that is we don't even manage to get that low, and instead we get bought up a little bit higher and higher and higher each time, showing us that bulls are getting more excited with time, at least with some underlying pressure. And that again these are the kind of things that give us an edge on the market. Like the average guy is just looking at this, sticking his fucking finger up his nose, not understanding what's going on, but we're actually really reading into what's going on here, because there's a lot we can understand from this chart if we just sit with it and think a little bit. And obviously that is my objective right here with this YouTube channel. That's my objective with 𝗪𝗪𝗡 VIP. As you guys know very well, like I said, I am an analyst, but the other side of being an analyst, for me at least, is being a trader. And I'm showing absolutely every single aspect of that right inside of 𝗪𝗪𝗡 VIP, where you can join by following the first link in the description down below. All the steps are on screen here. You just got to click on these 3 red boxes. The first link is going to take you here, then click on this red box, and then that's going to take you here, then click on that red box and ask me how to join VIP. Very, very straightforward process. It puts you in a direct chat with me. You can ask me any questions you have. So definitely take advantage of that if you would like to. And of course, if you like free money, then Bybit is the place to be. You guys already know I've been using Bybit for a very long time. This is awkward. I'm going to... Well, I'm not logged in, so I'm fine, but I should have been running a VPN for this. Bybit is of course my preferred exchange, and it's the one I've been using for years. So definitely check them out. You'll get some free money if you sign up using my link in the description down below and make your first deposit. And make sure to use a VPN if you are in a place where it might be difficult to use Bybit. So of course that is what I'm doing. It's just, I forgot to turn it on just for this. What did I want to talk about next? That's thrown me off a little bit. Right, Bitcoin's target. So 53K, my first target. Like I said, this is kind of the first real high that Bitcoin had, but 38K is a very nice target that we can extrapolate from this pattern right here as well. And there's 2 key patterns we formed here. Like on one side, we formed that ascending triangle that I showed you previously, but on the other side, we've also got this symmetrical triangle, right? And so there's a few different ways you can actually read into this chart, but bottom line to me, it looks really, really bullish. Obviously, as a trader and analyst, I have to consider the other side as well. And the other side of this is obviously a little bit more bearish. And what I'm seeing there quite simply is that You see, we still haven't broken that 45k area. That's why this chart I think is a little bit better, maybe even this chart, because it demonstrates the very same thing, but this one is just cleaner. You know, we still haven't broken that area of resistance, and so, you know, like, this is almost like dancing before you reach the finish line. I don't want to get too happy or too excited right now. I am in my long position on Ethereum, like I said, but my stop loss has already been moved up into profit, so I don't lose even if this thing drops down. Now I've got a minimum guaranteed profit, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm really, really happy with that. I've secured profits all the way up to where we are right now. So from a trading perspective, I'm not too worried. However, you know, from an analyst perspective, you know, what's quite important to consider, like I said, is the fact that we haven't actually broke this resistance yet. And if we do, if we don't and we end up falling back down, I would again expect quite a significant drop very quickly. You know, previously when we fell out of this range, it was pretty quick. We're looking at the daily time frame right here, and I mean, this was, you know, 2 days and we fell all the way down to, what was this price level? One sec. Within 2 days after, you know, like triggering that dump, we fell all the way down to the low $40,000 range. In the next few days we fell down to the mid 30s, right? So it can get pretty ugly pretty quickly. Oh no, this was still 37. That wasn't too bad. However, the good news here is that we do have support a little bit higher up. I certainly don't want to be failing this rally. I mean, it would still be fine, to be honest, if Bitcoin did. I think it would still have a really nice path to rise higher, but we've worked up, we've achieved a lot of things with this rally. You know, we've defied a lot of odds that were stacked against us. And to lose that would really shake my confidence as a bull at the moment, and I would anticipate that it would shake the confidence of other bulls as well. I don't know which one is going to happen, but I certainly think that we are a little bit more biased to the upside right now, especially if we just kind of start trading sideways right now for the next couple of days. It's going to bull flag, and that would definitely push us above the 45k area of resistance, in my opinion. And like I said, that's where I think this thing can really fly and just like really quickly gain like another $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 within a couple of days even. You know, I mean, anything's on the cards. I think it could be quite an explosive situation for Bitcoin. On the daily EMA ribbon, we've got quite a nice bit of support starting to form with a lot of bullish crossovers as well, which is beautiful. However, this 200-day EMA definitely potentially about to cause some problems. This is actually a very important moving average. Let's see how it's looking for Ethereum. Bam, same thing. This is a very important moving average, and you know, it's caused a lot of problems for Bitcoin in the past, right? I just want to show this to you right here very quickly. You know, if we just kind of trace this line, I mean, this has triggered big bounces in the market, like right here. It's triggered, you know, it's contributed to heavy resistance zones in the past. It's even offered resistance just earlier this year as well. We take a look further back. I mean, you know, when we fall down to this level, like I said, we can expect to find really nice support. Look, it's not the be-all, end-all. I mean, you know, we pushed through this line many times. It's definitely not you know, the how do I say, like the Satan of this analysis or something. Like it's not the horrible thing that's a deal breaker, but it's resistance, and my god, that is, you're pushing it. Like, that is, I mean, this is about as bad as it can get when it comes to interacting with resistance. So I'm just putting it out there. I'm not too worried about it, but it is another thing I'm watching. This is yet another reason that breaking 45k right now would be such a big deal. Like, if we did actually manage to do it, like, I want to make sure you guys understand how significant that would be, because that is a really big deal in my opinion. Also, I want to move over to Ethereum against Bitcoin. Still looking beautiful. It's now seen a rejection of the top of my resistance. Like, just look at how beautiful this has been operating. I mean, really, it's like, I mean, it's not a big resistance rejection, but my god, the accuracy here is impeccable. Very impressive. Of course, I'm also anticipating Ethereum rising better than Bitcoin. So far it has been doing so, you know, and I would expect that to continue. I think that if Bitcoin manages to pump towards you know, the high 40k range, low 50k range, then god knows where that would put Ethereum. You know, at least mid 3000s, if not high 3000s, maybe even starting to start flirting with those all-time highs as well. I don't want to get you guys bringing out that lotion too quickly just yet, because like I said, we haven't actually crossed that resistance zone yet, but we've made a lot of progress, and that is the summary of my analysis today. So I hope you have enjoyed this one. If you have, you know exactly what to do. Smash up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell if you haven't done so already. If you want to jump inside of VIP, it's been going very, very well with this trade. I've been continuing to give VIP members exact updates on what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. It's a really, really in-depth journey, right? I mean, this is watching me trade, but me telling you absolutely every single detail behind my decision-making process so that you can do the same thing at the same level of competence. It's completely transformed many, many traders. And aside from that, most people who join are also going to be getting free access into our 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧 Academy courses, where I'm teaching you everything I know about trading from A to Z as well. So you're not only watching me do everything in real time right now in this market, but you're also learning every single strategy, every single tool, every single piece of analysis, psychological advantage that I have from my course. And you put that all together in a market like this, and yeah, it's no wonder that we've seen absolutely insane results inside of 𝗪𝗪𝗡𝗧 VIP. And of course, if you want to be able to get a little bit of that for yourself, then the steps to join are on screen right here. You already know the deal with Bybit. If you like free money, check it out. But with that, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.